Sylvia here. So today I bring to you a video that is in a different category than what I would usually do. It is the luxury addict tag. So I'm talking about one of my biggest loves and passions in life is designer bags. I love that shit and I don't care what anyone else has to say about what people spend their money on. Some people like expensive cars, some people like expensive jewelry, some people like expensive electronics. I like expensive bags. So I was tagged by Melissa Saldera. She's a YouTuber as well, but she does more of the luxury items and I follow her on Instagram as well. I love her bags, I love her styles, so I was happy to kind of take this on when she tagged me, so thank you for tagging me. So the first question is, what was your first designer piece? My first designer piece is one that I feel is a lot of people's first designer pieces. It's a classic. It's kind of like the entry-level designer bag. It is a Louis Vuitton Speedy, and mine specifically is the 25, which is the smallest one. And back when I was a little girl, I think I got this maybe the last year of high school or something like that. Back when I was much smaller, this bag was appropriate for my petite size frame. And because I've grown since then with wise and not really height-wise, it doesn't really fit my body anymore. I feel like it looks kind of too miniature on my body now, and that's the reason why I don't really wear it anymore. And plus I have like a bunch of other bags now, but like it's still in such great condition. The patina is like not even super dark. It's like a nice light honey color, but I would never give this one away. I would never sell it just because it's really sentimental to me. It was me and my two best friends. We all went on a vacation together and all got our very first designer bag together. And they were they all Speedies? I don't remember. Maybe, but it was just a very like sentimental thing because we all shared that same kind of interest and we all bought it at the same time. And yeah. Okay, question number 2 is, what do you consider to be your best investment? So I'm gonna interpret this question in 2 different ways so that I can show you different bags. So my best investment dollar value wise would probably be my Chanel Jumbo Classic Flap. This one is in Caviar leather and it is black, obviously with gold hardware. I feel like at the time I felt like gold was classic. Kind of looking back on it now, I kind of wish I got silver so that it was a little bit more wearable because I feel like the gold's a lot more flashy. I don't know, meh. This piece was my very first Chanel piece, so I think that a lot was learned from that. But this piece means the most to me because as a little girl, I have always dreamed of owning a Chanel bag. I never thought I could ever afford a Chanel bag, let alone buy it for myself as a graduation gift. This was my own graduation gift to myself. So I remember being in that store when she told me how much it was, and at the time, taxes in, it was around $5,600. I was like, should I do this? But when I did spend that money and I walked out, I remember like I felt like I was going to cry. I was so happy because it was just something that I never thought I could achieve in life. And there I was, standing in Montreal. I got it in Montreal. I got it in the Chanel boutique in Haute Renfrew, Montreal, because in Toronto, although I was living in Toronto at the time, there were wait lines for all the classic bags, but in Montreal there wasn't any wait lines. So I hopped over there and I think the tax was like 1% more, but whatever, I just ate that because at that point I just really wanted the bag and I didn't want to wait. That's why I consider this to be my best money value investment, because right now this bag I believe is around $7,000 before tax. So considering I bought mine at $5,600 after tax and now it's $7,000 before tax, even if I sell this bag, it's in perfect condition. If I sell this bag for like I think market value right now for a mint condition bag would probably be around like 6,000 something. I would still be making money and full bank back on it. And it's only been like 3 years since I bought this. So the other best investment piece is something I consider to be like my best investment because I use it so much. That would be my Chanel, I think it's called the Le Coco, maybe? Or maybe it's, no, Coco Boy. I think it's called the Coco Boy. I will confirm that and put that in the description below. It's some sort of like Coco, like something, I don't know, they have a bunch of different names that are similar. So I love this bag and so many people love it too. It's just a really practical bag. It's a great everyday bag, but it's also great for like dressing up as well because it has like a more gunmetal kind of hardware. It's great for every day, and because it has a patent look, it's great for nighttime as well. It's a really functional bag. It works as a crossbody for me, and it also works as like a double handle, which I never wear it as. I always wear it crossbody or like on one shoulder, like with the long strap. You can fit so much in here. You can fit way more than like a flap. Because all my flaps are double flaps, they are actually not roomy at all. It takes up a lot of space in there, so you don't get that much space. But this one is like super thick and as you can see, it's like roomy all the way around. It's just one big hole to put everything in, so it fits everything that I need, and I carry a lot on an everyday basis. And I bought this one kind of like on the limb. I was in Paris and I visited the Chanel flagship store, so the very first store Chanel ever had, and I was like, well, I have to make a purchase here. And this one was just sitting on the shelf, and I was like, I like that one, and she brought it down for me. And it was funny because it was the very last one in the store, and as soon as I grabbed it and started trying it on, other people in the store were like looking at it and be like, oh, like that looks really good, like they really liked it. Like they didn't like it when it was on the shelf, but they liked it when it was like on someone else. So I was wearing it, and then people were like, oh, can I take a look at it? Can I take a look at it? I'm like, yeah, you can look at it, but like I'm probably gonna get it, so girl, you ain't getting it. I ended up purchasing it, and I know like 2 other girls wanted it and didn't end up getting it, so I'm really happy that I got this piece, and I wear this one probably the most out of all my Chanel bags. Okay, next question is, what is the criteria when looking to buy a piece? I think that really depends on the piece that I'm thinking of buying. There's so many different criteria that I set out for myself before I purchase a piece. Let's say at that moment in time I really need a small bag, and I want to make sure that it's a small bag that will fit my phone, that will fit my necessities, a color that will suit like what I need at the moment. Like it's very much varied. Number 4 is, what has been your stupidest / most regrettable purchase? I think that my most regrettable, I mean, I don't regret a lot of my purchases, but I think the most regrettable one would probably be my Louis Vuitton Delightful bag, which is this one right here. I've been trying to sell it actually. So if you guys are interested, let me know. And it's not that I don't like this bag. I actually really do like this bag, and I like that it's like a totally slouchy look. It's really casual. You can carry quite a bit in it. I used this for my carry-on bag for a while when I was traveling. So it's been really well worn. Like my patina is pretty dark. There's some unevenness in the patina, which is like easy to get rid of, but like it goes to show how much I did use it. And I used it all throughout my college career. It was my school bag. But the reason why I find it regrettable is that the shape itself is meant to be worn slouchy, so it's meant to kind of look like this. However, I would always put my laptop in here for school, so it would always be like this, meaning the strap would then be too short to really tuck under my arm. And at that moment in time, I bought it as a school bag, and I thought that it was a good idea. But then like when I actually wore it and used it as a school bag, I'm like, this is a horrible idea. And I didn't really have any purpose for this bag other than to buy it as a school bag. Question number 5 is, have you sold any of your luxury goods, and do you have seller's regret? So I have sold some of my pieces before, only like maybe 2 or 3 pieces. The only ones I can really remember off the top of my head right now is my Louis Vuitton Ava clutch I sold. At that moment in time, right after I sold it, I was like, oh shit, did I do the right thing? But then I realized I didn't really wear it that much anyways, and like that I didn't really like it that much. I didn't find it attractive to me. I just bought it at the time because I needed a clutch, and it was like the cheapest, most accessible designer clutch at the time. But now I have a whole bunch of other like clutch and small bags, so I don't regret that at all anymore. And then the other one I sold recently is my Marc by Marc Jacobs Fran Q bag. At first I had a hard time letting go of it because I used that bag so much. It was probably one of my favorite like everyday bags of all time, especially the fact that like it's not like super designer, but like I loved that bag. And when I got rid of it, I didn't have regret, but it was just like, oh, sucks to see Miss Baby go bye-bye. Next question is, what's a piece that you think everyone needs or should have? I don't really think that there's any like luxury good that anyone needs in their life or anyone should have. Like it's luxury for a reason. Like it's because you like it yourself, and it's when you have extra disposable income that you want to spend on your own personal likings. And I also feel like, you know, like people have their own personal liking. Like there's not something you need. You just get what is to your style and what you like, right? But I do feel like when it comes to collecting like designer purses, if you're really into that, that maybe a purse that you should have in your collection is a classic Chanel flap. I feel like that is kind of like one of the holy grails of designer bags, like the classic Chanel flap, or maybe an Hermès Birkin or Kelly or something like that. I don't know. This question's like meh. Second to last question is, which piece do you think is overhyped? I think so many pieces are overhyped. Like so many pieces are overhyped. Okay, I'll name the ones that like come off the top of my head. I think the Givenchy Antigona is overhyped. I think that it's a very impractical bag. I can name so many flaws to this bag, and like, I mean, if you have that bag and you love it, awesome, cool. But for me personally, I just think it's overhyped because I feel like it's not a very practical bag. The long strap on the bags doesn't even look good when you put it on because it's still a little bit too short, and it kind of makes the purse sit at a weird spot. And because the purse at the bottom is so wide, it kind of like just sits boxy away from your body, so it's like meh. Like I feel like they should make all of them a longer strap, kind of like the mini has the longer strap, which looks better. However, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I also feel like it's so structured that it's hard to kind of open the bag when you unzip it. It's like not flexy. It's like, I don't know, I just think it's a not really practical bag, and a lot of people like it. And like I initially liked it as well, but then when I went to go see it in person, I was like, this is just not a practical bag. Why do people love this shit so much? Another one I can think of is like the Chanel classic walks. Everyone's like, oh, I want to walk, there's wait list for the walk, we want walks for everyone. You can't fit shit into that bag. Like no one is fitting anything. I mean, maybe if you get like the moon shaped walk or something, but I'm talking about like the classic walk that like is a fold over completely. Unless you are truly someone that carries nothing but your phone and a lipstick, then you could take that, but like it fits nothing in there. And I just feel like it's so silly when you can just buy a Chanel mini, kind of like the one I have here, like this is a square mini, but also like the rectangle mini is similar to size to the walk, but it's a little bit thicker so that you can actually put stuff in there and like things can actually go in there. So I don't understand why people don't just spend money on a mini instead, because it's only a couple hundred more than the walk, and the mini is just so much more practical. And the last question is, what is next on your wish list? And to be honest, I don't really have anything on my wish list right now. I'm not really saving towards anything right now, and there's nothing that's like has really caught my eye. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of things that if I had the money to like spend on whatever, it'd be nice to have. Like the other day I saw a blue classic flap, so similar, it was the exact same blue as this one right here, but it was a classic flap and lambskin. Like that was really nice, but I would never, I don't know, I just wouldn't really purchase that without super big amounts of disposable income. I really wanted something from the Chanel So Black line for a little while because I like the black on black texture, but again, I'm not a lambskin kind of girl. I have really long nails that scratch that shit up, so I can't take care of lambskin, and I wouldn't buy that unless I had like tons of extra money. But I think maybe the next practical purchase for me would maybe be a Celine mini. I like the Celine mini, I think it's cute, and maybe a Chanel mini. Rectangular mini maybe. I don't know, I think I want a mini bag. Alright, so that brings us to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys do want to see more videos that have to do with like designer things, because I just don't know what you guys want. And I will talk to you guys again soon. See ya! Hey guys, Sylvia here, and today I have my updated brow tutorial. This is probably one of my most highly requested videos. I guess you guys like my brow game, which I appreciate because I put a lot of time and effort into them. They're probably the things that I spend the most time on when I'm doing my makeup, so thank you for recognizing real.